Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I created magic and miracles with one purpose only: to help people of all walks of life achieve their manifestation, dreams, and goals. Really important to achieve your dreams and goals, to motivate yourself, to feel uplifted, but most importantly, to know your power and to know that that's what you're destined to do here on planet Earth. You really should understand that suffering is entirely optional. You can still go through challenges, you can still go through situations if you understand how to alchemize it, turn it in your favor, how to ultimately become the golden Buddha who transcends any kind of experiences, yes, even those that happened in the past, and going forward really does appreciate themselves, but also the way that the universe works and appreciates all sorts of experiences and produces golden nuggets out of them. Is life is always going to be perfect and you're going to be living in paradise? This kind of premise just does not exist. Don't look for it. Don't ask for perfection from life. Excuse me. Don't ask for perfection of yourself or anybody. Okay, just make the best of it by being your own best good self. And to do that, you need to quantum leap to what I refer to symbolically, not to offend anybody of any religion, but as a golden Buddha timeline, your golden timeline that represents the highest version of you, who you agreed to be in this incarnation. But unfortunately or fortunately, depending on what your outlook is like on life, you got sidetracked. Okay, so you took a little detour or maybe a very long one to learn things, to upgrade your qualifications as a soul. Nothing really went wrong in that sense, all right? But what I do in my coaching is I help people remember who they really are, what they're really here to do, and to get back on that timeline because they want things. Everybody wants things, okay? SP or a pile of money or that outcome in your favor or whatever, whatever, whatever. And it should not be this impossible mission situation. It should really be, when I will really align myself and remember who I really am. Sometimes, people forget and they get busy, but when I'm aligned, I know exactly what to do. When I'm not doing it, I also know that I'm not doing it, but I know exactly what to do. It isn't this impossible mission situation where, you know what, you just completely lost. And a lot of people tell me in coaching, Anna, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've tried everything. No, this should never be the conversation. So the coaching that I created for the YouTube audience, I've been on YouTube for 3 years, total of 10 years of being a coach, 7 years outside YouTube, been coaching people in the entertainment industry. Mostly, some of them are well known, some business men and women alike. Not to say that I'm a business coach, okay? I certainly had my own experience, of like over 13 years now being my own entrepreneur, but I'm not a business coach. What I do specialize is, some people have called me an energy coach, some people say a relationship life coach, whatever you want to call me. I teach people how to be their best selves energetically, and then thus influencing everything around them, of course, SP included. So, in this coaching program, which is a really um, an intensive coaching program, we rendezvous 3 times per week. I like to start at this pace at least the first couple of months, maybe a month if you're advanced. Okay, I've seen that as well. Why? Because I like for you to shake up your past beliefs, the so-called negative beliefs, the drama mama panorama, as I refer to it, which is your history, the blueprint that you're currently operating from. They really gotten cozy with you, and this intense of a process allows for them to start really feeling uninvited, which they really ought to feel, okay? Like haters of some kind, or like a pile of garbage in the middle of the living room, like I referred to it. Attached to those beliefs, why a belief becomes a belief is because there's an experience backed up by an emotion. And so it registers within your consciousness as some kind of a truth. Nothing really can be further from the truth of it being a truth, the truth. But it's a truth for you from which you create, literally, holographically create your universe, your 360 bubble. Now, the way that I coach, parenthesis here, in my coaching, you're only responsible for your own life and your immediate circle. In no shape or form am I going to put this much pressure on you, unrealistically so, completely, bizarrely unrealistically, that everybody's you pushed out. No, no, not everybody. No, just the people in your immediate circle. Okay, those who, you care about in particular, because and we'll get into this message about the telepathic message that you're sending to your SP. How, you know what, certain people just don't deserve your fucking energy, period, the motherfucking end. You don't have endless reservoirs of energy. You should really direct it appropriately towards your life only. Okay, so in my coaching, we detach from the emotion that was backed up by that experience, replacing it with a different emotion. You can call it revision if you want. However, we restructure your entire history in a way where not only do you feel good about it, but you also let loose of unforgiveness, anger, resentment, which is blocking you being the golden Buddha magician that you ultimately belong to be. So 2 to 3 months in this coaching process. There are other packages. You can also do it at the pace of once a week for 6 months or a year. Okay, not my preference, like I said, but we can start maybe, other options are available, like to start with the signature coaching 3 times per week and then downgrade it to once a week. I've seen that. So we can always discuss. But in order to be in my coaching, you need to book a 1 hour session first, sign the coaching agreement. And in this first session, we simply discuss what's at hand, make sure that we can work well together, and all of that jazz. If you have any questions before you book the first session, which, by the way, even if you don't, for whatever reason, decide to coach with me, which has never happened, people are well prepared and they've researched both of my channels before they come to me. You receive the guidance and the advice that if you cash it in, you will absolutely succeed. Everything that I offer and everything that I teach, I have experienced it personally. And what we're going to talk about here is something I've done many different ways, many different times, okay, in my life, not just in a romantic life, in business. And I teach energy work in my coaching that turbocharges this manifestation. And I really can't discuss it here, nor would I be able to, because it's custom made for every individual in my coaching, depending on their specific preferences, their specific background, their history. Okay. So I won't be even able to, but as much as I can, I will explain what needs to happen. And it's so simple and it really is so easy. I say easy when you process your mama drama panorama. This is really important. You have to start out with a blank canvas. So, what does that mean? I've discussed in my last life how I had to forgive this person, the people who were in a lawsuit with me, and then everything got resolved. So, in the same manner, it serves you not to be angry, to be resentful, the unforgiveness of any kind, whether they apologized or not, whether they deserve the fucking apology or not. It doesn't matter. Now, this does not include your SP. If your SP was abusive, this entire situation is out the motherfucking window. Okay? This does not include abusive people. Please, go to therapy or go to coaching, work all that out, and move on to somebody healthy minded, not manipulative, not toxic. This is not, for some reason, and I know the reason, not for some reason, but a lot of people pleasers, side note here, get sidetracked with toxic people thinking it's their duty to save them. I've been there, my darling. It's not your fucking job. Let everybody be on their journey. If this was a lesson to you, learn it, process it, and move on in that sense. But other than that, if they've done something, chose a third party, another woman, another man, maybe they're even married to them right now, not your fucking concern. And let me explain why. Okay, who you're actually sending this message to is yourself. Okay, just the mechanics, understand. You're convincing your own mind. I'm about to explain, the process is that you're convincing your own mind, thus allowing yourself to levitate to a higher timeline in which this SP of yours tonight, okay, if you're in America, or someplace else, hello and big thumbs up and big subscribe to my new channel. Um, and for those rewatching, big thumbs up as well. Um, you can access their mind by traveling to that parallel timeline in which they already were thinking anything you want to put in their mind. They were already in love with you. They already wanted to propose to you. They already insert whatever you want to insert there. Okay. But the main premise is, if you just imagine the quantum field, like I have this picture on my channel of this field I like very much, and I photograph it all throughout the seasons. And I picture quantum field this way in my meditations, or sometimes it's in space, but to picture it as some kind of an open space where it's all benevolence, all love, all receptivity, all help, angels, all of it is just really powerful, a really powerful field, shall we say. And it's untainted. Okay, this is why you have to come in with yourself untainted, minus the resentment, minus the anger, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to help you. You understand? You need to come to this temple, so to speak, the quantum field, with purity. Okay, why? Because in this way, you're going to be able to paint with your emotions a lot easier. If there's some kind of a tainted emotion, some kind of unforgiveness, unprocessed anger, it's literally going to barricade your telepathic message, or what's worse, transmit that anger into the message to them, and they will be catching the anger, so to speak, or rather, you will be catching the version that's still angry or undecisive or continues behaving in a way that makes you angry or resentful, blah, 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 blah. So you literally have to go, like Neville says, go till the end, to the end. And you go, all right, so what is my objective here? What is the objective? Do I want to marry this person? Do I want them to come and apologize? Do I want them simply to start falling madly in love with me and then see what happens? Right? So let's just say this is, let's choose a case of a third party. All right, this person, whether married or unmarried, and by the way, the reason I'm including married people is this, and please don't get offended, okay, has nothing to do with, interfering into somebody else's marriage. But again, you're going to end up on a timeline where this marriage wasn't supposed to work out in the first place. It's not just one timeline available to you, not just one parallel reality. Everything is available. This is the beauty of the quantum field. You're walking into this mega powerful benevolent library full of everything. This is why malicious people are so fucking stupid, that you don't need to force anybody, steal, lie, cheat, badmouth anybody. Like, you're so fucking stupid, you don't even realize that everything is available. But the wise people and those who want to learn and are benevolent, they intuitively already sense that. And this is who I'm here for. Okay. If you benevolently approach this process and say, I don't know how, I don't have to interfere, I don't wish anybody ill, but this is going to work out in my favor. Don't you know that it will? Okay, somehow or another, you don't have to do anything. You just have to telepathically connect to this person who is going to part ways with their spouse or their girlfriend or their boyfriend or their husband any fucking way. You just happen to be on the right timeline. So let's just take this example. We want to send, or I want to send, let's just say, as an example, a message to somebody who's involved right now, okay, married or not, there's with somebody else. And let's just say that there is absolutely, like, maybe even, let's make it even more complex. There's zero possibility, or I have seen zero signs, let's just say, from them that they're even remotely interested in me. Okay, or maybe it didn't just present itself as an opportunity. And that's what the fuck I'm working with. Okay, some of you at least had some kind of contact, interaction, relationship, this and that. But I'm going for like the hardest, I guess the hardest situation. Maybe you have a harder one. I don't know. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to go anywhere. Depending on how I feel about this person, again, it all goes back to you, how you feel about this person. This is what gets the ball rolling. Okay. If I feel any resentment, or maybe I don't believe, okay, that I could change them, in quotations. Maybe I don't believe that they could feel this way towards me. This is my part of the job. Okay. I have to convince my mind somehow, some way. Like, I just posted a really great piece of music. It's a really great song. I just discovered it. Really send whatever turns you on, turns your imagination on in the direction of this person. So let's just say I would start with something like, I would listen to a tune and I would think of this person. I would listen to the song, imagining that this person is telling me these lyrics, or I'm in that mood with this person that they are feeling this way towards me now. Now, it's entirely up to me what music I will pick, what song I will pick, what movie I will start watching, all directed energy towards this person that right now is being activated. Just like before, let's just say you used to chase, or they used to ignore you, or whatever, they were with a third party, and you consented to that, in quotation, meaning like, well, this is the reality and there's nothing to be done. Now you're simply changing your mind, and then your imagination alone, you want to call it your imagination, your consciousness, you're plugging in a different scenario. This person is now starting to be activated in a different direction because your tonality changed towards them. No longer, let's just say, you're lukewarm about them. No longer are you perceiving third party as a threat or as an obstacle. No longer are you telling yourself all the reasons why it might not work. You're forgetting all that shit. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday or even an hour before. Right here, right now is the demarcation point for this relationship to begin in a new way. And so it's up to, it's as simple like when you're watching all these videos. Okay, when I remember very clearly when I started coaching people on YouTube, and people would send me all of this stuff from other coaches that, most of it was not that great, let's face it. How to make somebody fall in love and all this kind of stuff. Excuse me. Excuse me. Um it's not that complex. Again, you just go inside your mind and you make a decision. But you're only able to make that decision if you are, again, wiped clean of resentment, any extraneous emotions, any mama drama panorama, and you permit yourself to go into the library of the quantum field and select this reality with emotion, with conviction, not even like forceful. I'm not talking forceful at all. I'm talking playfully. I want to experience a reality where they're chasing me. I just decided that. That's it. That's all it took. There's no making, there's no twisting somebody's arm. There's none of that going on. You simply lightheartedly went in, but very decidedly, okay, and very decisively and very strategically, for you choosing things for the first time maybe in your life, instead of depending on mama drama panorama to bounce off of. You're now making decisions are necessary here. So the way that to make them fall in love, the way that you start the ball rolling towards your proposal, even anything can happen. Again, let's go back to my example and say I want to make somebody, yes, fall madly in love with me, um, and propose to me. And right now, it doesn't look like anything at all. Don't you know that I can do that? Don't you know that I can start vibrating a certain kind of different energy towards that person? Takes so little. And I will explain it in coaching. Again, one on one, it works best. How to produce this energy within yourself. No affirmations, not necessarily, reading endlessly scripts or scripting every day. I've heard it all in my coaching, but knowing exactly how you in your situation can produce this vibration that works, that on cue, on command, whenever you think of them, your mind goes directly to this version, this feeling. So let's just say my intention is this person is falling in love with me. They've already fallen in love with me. I was just not aware of it before. Okay. They've already fallen in love with me. They want to marry me. They think the world of me. Somehow or other, they were checking up on me. They started being curious, all because I started this transmission into the quantum field of now they're falling madly in love with me. And they were on cue, on command, just like that, started, maybe taking interest. Some changes happened in their life, and hoopla, one day this person will maybe approach me, maybe it will be a situation of a social kind, but they will say something to me. They will look at me a certain different kind of way, where I will recognize what I did worked. And there's a lot more going on in their mind, but and I'm talking some time, maybe a month or two or something like that. But when I'll see that, and I've done this in my life, as I've said, many, many different ways, where I can see it in their eyes that what I did in my mind worked. Okay. So now, again, I want to reemphasize, you're not twisting anybody's arm. You're simply aligning yourself with that version that already existed. And you will see how telepathy is perhaps the most spectacular, effortless, magnetic, magnificent game on planet Earth. Okay? It's the game of you and you, right? Your SP at that moment in time, wherever you are on the trajectory, of your development and all of that, this is the resonance that you have achieved with this person. There's a reason why. And I'll tell you another little secret, not so secret. They're there for like the frustration that you feel of, how do I make them fall in love and how do I make them change my mind, their mind? How do I make the third party disappear? Those are your problems, darling. And I've said it in my face live. Um, I don't know, what was it? Sunday. This is your stuff, your problem that you need to work out. You're not making anybody do anything. You're creating this ambition within yourself. You're creating this world within your own mind simply by being playful and not letting, like when you're doing this telepathic transmission, you're not to be worried, you're not to be resentful, you're not to be anything other than I send you love. Okay, I send you deliberate love. And whatever else you want to send them, if you know what I mean, kind of like sexy times or whatever, this kind of like influence of I don't know, real infatuation, being really lusting after you, all this kind of jazz. Okay, you are the tower of power. You have to initiate this thought transmission. Okay, so you very much, I want you to know, 24/7, you have the power over your SP. Are you fucking using it? Is the question. And again, in my method, I make it stationary. Go listen to my other live, encode your SP with your own energy. Okay, this is very much apropos. And I think not a lot of people understood what I mean, because it is, if you go listen to it, like, it literally contains a lot of golden information that will help you. Hopefully, okay, I mean, an audio, a video is never enough, but hopefully change your mind about, freaking out, or believing that you're powerless. Like, you're so fucking powerful. It's just, what are you sending right now? And are you doing your practices worried, or still being resentful, still maybe telling the story of, they're not into me, I have to try hard. That's also a story. And you should abandon that story, like, once and for all. Because when you're going to start exercising this telepathic power, you're gonna make them run to you. Again, you're going to have them chase you. You're going to have them say whatever you want them to say. You're going to have them feel however you want them to feel. This is why you have to be careful and disciplined what kind of energy you consistently, like, once in a while, everybody's cranky, this and that and the other, but consistently sending out a certain kind of energy, you're on your way to a manifestation. So, in that sense, again, how I started from the beginning, you're never lost. You can always go back and examine the kind of energy you consistently build up for this manifestation to hoopla and come out in a third party version, incarnation, or whatever form, in some kind of other delay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there was a build up to it. Now is your chance, right now, tonight, or wherever you are in the world, to turn it around. You're turning it around by dropping entirely all that other shit. Like, how, like, just wipe it clean. Like, you have a desk, let's just say, visually speaking, full of papers and whatever, pencils and pens and blah, blah, blah. Just go like this, like, wipe it clean, just throw everything away, and start choosing what you're going to put back on the desk. We don't want it if it's some kind of a shit show from yesterday. We want something fresh and new if you are to change this dynamic. And I mean, as soon as tonight, or as soon as today, shit can start happening in the direction of your dreams and goals. Okay. And in my coaching, if you'll ever end up there, if you ever be so absolutely lucky as to end up in my coaching, you will learn, okay, to be consistent and to know the power of turning around your emotions completely and turbocharging it with your own energy in such a way where, for once and for all, you will give up on this idea, you know what, I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You dooby dooby do. Nobody, just memorize these two things, right? Nobody's coming to your rescue, and you're always in power. So if there's something going on with somebody so intimate, an intimate relationship like this, there is something with you that's being activated right now. So nobody's coming to your rescue. You're going to have to figure it out for yourself. Okay. But the energy that you're sending out to them, day in and day out, has a message. What is the message? Is the message, I'm not wanted? Is the message, I don't know, third party is better looking than me? Is the message, you're not or you're not committal, and all these things that people tell me in coaching? You're not committal, you are playboy, all these pronouncements. This has got to go. Even if you really think that about this version, it has got to go, again, unless they were abusive. What kind of energy are you sitting down to send this telepathic message? Out of desperation? Really big no. No way. It's not like, oh my God, Anna, I'm freaking out. So I have to send this telepathic message quickly so that I can feel some relief. No, darling, no. Mm-mm. No, it's going to have to come from a really comfortable, cozy, beautiful, loving space. Okay. Again, you're sharing, so to speak, this energy with this person. So if your telepathic message starts out with anxiety and some kind of desperation, I mean, isn't it logical that the other person will get anxious and never call you or get some kind of other negative energy from you? No, no, no. You only want to send confidence. Listen to me when I'm telling you, confidence is what really does the trick here. You need to make your decision and then confidently, first of all, figure out what you're feeling for them, what you're really feeling for them, and get rid of the all the extraneous stuff to the best of your ability. Forgive and let go. Serves you not. Okay. If you're really serious about this, okay. And then really start developing the sense of this is how I want them to feel for me. And this is what I'm saying with this message that I'm sending with confidence. I'm not commanding you because you're my fucking slave. It's not like that, at your command. Like this is a title from Neville. And I use this a lot, command them. But it's not like you're my slave. No, no, it's not that. It's that I am confident and I feel so normal and so natural in this my vibration myself. So therefore, I have agency to instruct you to be of the same energy and do as I please, so to speak. Again, not in a narcissistic way, but in the I'm already here on this timeline, and now for my physical mind, I'm saying to you, SP, you're feeling the same way, but they already are. Do you see the thing? So now the only person that needs to keep themselves in check is yourself. If you want to maintain this relationship, not just get them back and marry them, but maintain this relationship, you're going to have to keep yourself in check. How are you speaking to them telepathically? What kind of emotions are you sending telepathically to this person? Big honk from the outside. Holy shit, bananas. Somebody's impatient. Hilarious. What was I? What kind of energy do I want them to feel for me? Start with suspicion, start with, oh, they probably don't love me. It's going to arrive in the mail, so to speak. It's going to present itself to you. Start saying something diametrically opposed, like they're falling in love with me. Like, I've done this to people at a distance, at a distance. Now, it doesn't have to be a huge distance, meaning like I, they weren't interacting with me. Okay. There was no way for me to influence them. Okay. With my charm or whatever. I did it entirely telepathically, just for no other reason other than, well, I wanted to see my power. A couple of times I just wanted to see, like, how it really works. And it works what I'm describing to you best when you yourself are a clean slate and you have a hold on your own emotions. Underline 300 million times. Your own emotions. When you're doubting yourself, when you don't love yourself, when you yo yo, not a criticism, just saying, when you really, really like just down on yourself, I mean, where do you think this energy goes? Your energy consists of this. This is what you need to rework. Don't mean to sound like a broken record, it just is what it is. And your SP, and in your frustration when nothing happens, and when you're full of these emotions, of course, again, you are residing on a timeline where it's just a shit show, one shit show after another. Okay? or one siren after another. As soon as I go live, all the noise starts. Before it was really quiet. Oh my god. Anyway, that's the recipe. And again, you can do this at a distance just by simply, again, really want to stress, not forcing, not making this a job. It should be so lighthearted and easy, like a romantic relationship supposed to be, darling, supposed to be. What are you going to do? Like, I mean, when you guys are going to get together, should be effortless, right? This is the same thing. The same energy, the same effortless energy has to go into this relationship, right? When you, now that you have a chance to cook it over, so to speak, like cook it again in a different way, should be lighthearted. Don't make it a job. But whenever you do think of this person, you have a set of choices. You have a set of decisions for that person. You're falling madly in love with me. And they will be compelled to do something that will confirm. It might not be just straight out of the box, oh, I love you. No, it doesn't work like that. It's not normal. It's not natural. Okay. They will behave, they will start behaving in some kind of a fashion that will confirm that you now have entered their mind. True story. True story. As far as you're concerned, you have entered their mind. Okay. And in their mind, you reside in this capacity, having changed nothing other than your energy, which is everything. Okay, you haven't changed your whatever clothes, you haven't changed anything, nothing changed, but everything changed in the ethers, in the 5D, in the invisible, because now you're sending out a completely different story. The script, it has changed entirely. Believe me, it's a lot harder how you're doing it now, like being miserable completely and really thinking that they don't love you, which is not true at all. Underline 300 million times as well, is that you're not giving yourself permission to be loved. Why that is, let's discuss in coaching perhaps. Okay, it is all about you, again, not in a narcissistic manner at all, and again with the exclusion of if they were abusive to you. You yourself bring the game, you yourself write the rules, third party or not, who gives a flying fuck? This is your reality. Listen, just like you manifested this person with a third party, you can unmanifest that fucking third party and be done with that bullshit. Okay, the story right now, again, as I've said in my live on Sunday, is exactly the replica of your current consciousness. Change the consciousness, change the energy to you love me only. You have only eyes for me. You cannot wait to marry me, and nothing has changed, and I have no reason to think this way other than my decision, which is enough. And they will change their mind about you. You won't have to sweat. You won't have to worry ever again. And again, underline 300 million times, you don't have to force it on them. Going in into the sending of telepathic message with ease, not effort, is simply connecting to that person, that version of a person who already agrees with you, has always already agreed with you. You just haven't let yourself think of them in that way. That's 100% true in 100% cases. You haven't allowed yourself, for whatever reason, whatever you think about yourself that you're not so desirable, you haven't entertained this idea of them thinking this way about you. Entertain differently, you will get a different result. All right. So I'm going to stop here. I don't want to make it too long. This is nice and sweet and short. For the energy work, I mean, you're just going to have to come in into my coaching and I'll explain it to you. You can also take the signature energy course, which is a do-it-yourself package with audios, and it explains very well not just the speed but all the other kind of areas of your life. The breakdown is on my website. You can read about it, but it's all about your energy, and it's a decision once made. If consistent, they absolutely cannot refuse you. You hold the same energy like 90% of the time, even 80, okay, fine, 70. There will be a change, and then build it up to 90%. They will stay like this as long as you'll have them. It's not a matter of they're not having those thoughts for you. It's you're not having those thoughts about yourself being worthy of this obsession, of this love, of them agreeing with you. Some kind of barricade, blockage, impediment that prevents you from accepting that love. You yourself massage your mind to accept this love and adoration. You won't be able to fucking get rid of them, okay? Let me just put it this way. All right, guys. All information from me is below. If you have any questions prior to booking, please don't hesitate to email me. All right? Thank you so much. Until the next. Ciao, cacao.